Hello viewers, it's Evans Raisin here and welcome back to round 11 of our F1 2022 mods career as Kevin Magnussen in the Formula Haas car. Where today we will be going around the Hungaroring in Hungary, where hopefully we can beat our teammate and have a good qualifying session. So without anything else to do, let's jump straight into qualifying. So we come out to our outlap now, where we are about to start our first flying lap. So we come out the last corner with DRS opened, go across the line. We're going to speed things up because only our banker lap, and we need to get used to the track conditions and see where the pace is at and where all the grip is. So we come through here on the straight here. We come through this little left into a long right hander. Now coming up into the chicane bit. Using all the curb as we can. Now coming through the third to last corner. Now into the second to last corner. We kind of missed the apex there. Now into the last corner now. We also missed the apex there as well. We use all the curb on the outside. And we go across the line for a 1:19.0. And now we see ourselves in P18, where we have started our second flying lap. So we brake heavy into turn 1 now, using all the curb on the inside. Accelerate out using a bit of the curb on the outside with DRS open, and we've gained about we've gained a tenth. Now coming up into the second corner now, we missed the apex completely. We go really wide here. Now try and cut back in. We do cut the corner a little bit there. It's already exit curb. Now coming up to this quick left-hander, using all the curb on the outside. Now you want to have a late apex here, but we completely miss it. Use a little bit of the curb on the outside here. Now coming up into the chicane bit, you want to use the curb on the inside as much as you can without hitting the sausage curb. Use a little bit on the outside, use all of it on the inside. We miss that apex. We go a bit wide here. Now coming up into this corner now. I'm going to go really wide. Luckily we don't exceed track limits and get a invalidation. Using a little curb on the outside here. Now coming into the inside, try and have a late apex, but again we've completely missed it. But we are up by 6/10 right now. Now into the last corner now. Can we actually gain some positions? We're now in P19 right now. Accelerate out, DRS open, and we go across the line for 1:18.4, I believe that was. So this is today's starting grid for today's race. We've got Carlos Sainz, who's on pole today, with Max Verstappen alongside him. Then we've got Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Albon, Gasly, Bottas, Ocon, Norris, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, our teammate Mick Schumacher, P14. Joe Guan Yu, ourselves, Kevin Magnussen in P16, Vettel, Stroll, and then finally Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi. So once again, our team has beaten us in qualifying. So this is our strategy for today. We are going to be starting on the soft compound tyre, and we're going to be switching to the medium compound tyre, and we're going to be pitting around lap 6 or lap 7. And now we go to the 5 red lights, and off we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. As a very good start, we get a bad start from us. We go down into P17 now. Our teammate goes all over the place, and we make a massive dive on into turn 1 now. We're now up into P11 now. Can we make a move on Valtteri Bottas into next corner? Can we make it 3 wide? No, we won't. But but Ocon and Bottas are now fighting it side by side. Who will come out on top? Bottas got the outside line. We try and make it 3 wide. We don't quite work out. But Yuki Tsunoda tries to make a move on us, and he doesn't quite work out. And it's actually Bottas who makes the move. No, he hasn't. They're still side by side. But we managed to defend our position from Yuki Tsunoda. Ocon's got the inside line. Now we got the outside, but we go down the inside. We make it 3 wide. We make contact, but we go out wide, and we're up into P9 now. And we've gained 2 positions in 1 corner. As we do look at our MFDs to see if we've got any damage, but luckily we've got no damage, so we continue on throughout this race. And now can we catch up to Fernando Alonso? We come through the second last corner, getting power down as early as we can. Having a late apex here as Carlos Sainz sets the fastest lap time of a 1:22. Right, we're using ERS being deployed now. Now we switch over to where Yuki Tsunoda is trying to make a move on Valtteri Bottas. So it's a drag race down. Bottas has the outside line now. And it's Yuki Tsunoda who has the inside line, and he gets the job done nice and easy for him. And now can our teammate put pressure on Valtteri Bottas into the next corner? No, we can't. And we switch back to our onboard now, where we are losing so much time to Fernando Alonso. It just seems we just don't have the pace to stay up with the Alpines, even though we are keeping Ocon at bay. Now coming up to the chicane bit now, where hopefully we can gain some time through here. We go a bit too much over the sausage curves and we actually lose some time. Our teammate now makes a move on Valtteri Bottas a lap later, on lap 3 now. And he breaks much later. He's got the inside line, our teammate. And it's the exact same move as what Yuki Tsunoda did on Valtteri Bottas. And it's a nice, easy move, and Schumacher's up a position. We switch to our onboard now, where we are still trying to gain some time on Fernando Alonso, but we're failing to do so, as we lose the rear end a little bit there. We got over the curb a bit too much than we would have wanted. Now come up into sector 2 now. Now coming into sector 3. And now our DRS has got... We've got a failure with our DRS now. So we've got no more DRS for the rest of this race. Until our engineer can fix it. So very unlucky about that. But now the 7-time world champion is trying to make a move on Pierre Gasly now. He's going around the outside. Yuki Tsunoda has the Pierre Gasly has the inside line. But he just hasn't got the raw horsepower as the Mercedes. And Hamilton has the inside line now. And we'll push him out wide. And that's Hamilton up into P5 now. And Gasly down to P6. Now we switch to our onboard now, where we're still chasing after Fernando Alonso. But we're just losing out every time. We're just losing out 2 tenths every lap roughly. Now we come through the chicane bit now. Missing all the sausage curves and getting a decent exit. Now we're coming through these long corners now. Long but high speed corners. Braking a little bit here, using all the curb on the outside. Accelerate down and personal best sector 2. Now coming up into the third to last corner, where we've got Ocon, who's 6 tenths behind us. And now George Russell is trying to make a move on Pierre Gasly. He goes down the inside with DRS. And it's a nice and easy move on Pierre Gasly from George Russell. And that's George Russell up into P6 and Pierre Gasly down to P7. And now we switch to our onboard now on lap 5, where we are slightly gaining on Fernando Alonso right now. But not enough than we really want. But we have knocked it down to 1.8 seconds from it being 2.3. And we still got Ocon, who's only 4 tenths behind us. So he will have DRS on the next straight. Now we come up later on in the race, where we see ourselves on lap 6 now. Still struggling to find some pace and catch up to Fernando Alonso. And now the gap sees itself to be 2.6 seconds. So it's a big gap, and we just can't seem to have the pace to narrow it down to within a second. However, even if we do narrow it down to 1 second, we won't be able to make an overtake as easy as we could, because our DRS is still broken. As you can see at the bottom right, there's a massive exclamation mark. And now we come into the pit lane now, where a couple cars have come into the pit lane already. And we see ourselves in P8 now, as we get overtaken by someone. And now we come into our pit box now. Hopefully we can get a good pit stop from our pit crew. A fairly slow pit stop. It's a 3.1 second pit stop, which is quite slow. But we have to deal with it, and we have to put our head down and catch up to the car ahead and get a really good outlap now. We see ourselves in P14 now, where we are 3.1 seconds behind Pierre Gasly. So hopefully we can knock that down and gain some time on him. So we need to use these fresh medium compound tyres as much as we can. We need to maximise the grip as much as we can, get all the pace out of them at the very start, so we can catch up to the cars in front of us. And we have knocked it down to 2.9 seconds now to the gap with Pierre Gasly. And we have made a gap between ourselves and Ocon. It's now 1.2 seconds now. And now we come on later on during the race, where we are on lap 8 now, where we're coming out on the straight and people are coming into the pit lane, and we move up into P9. And now our teammate comes out of the pit lane now, and Yuki Tsunoda is right there, and Yuki Tsunoda goes running outside of our teammate Mick Schumacher, but our team will have colder tyres, so can he have the grip? Yes he can, and that's Schumacher up into P11 now, and Yuki Tsunoda stays in P12. Now come through the chicane now, where we have gained a little bit on Fernando Alonso. We've now knocked it down to 1.7 seconds, and we've gained some time on Ocon. We've opened it up to 1.3 seconds now from it being 5 tenths. We go quite wide on the exit there. Now we come into this corner now. Carlos Sainz sets the new fastest lap off the race with a 1 minute 18.3, I believe that was. Now we come on later on during in the race now, where we see ourselves on lap 12. Now coming up to the long right hander. Now coming up to the chicane part now. The gap to Fernando Alonso is now 2.6, and the gap behind has been knocked down to 8 tenths. So as you can see, we just don't have the pace this race to stay with the big teams. And now we switch over to Max Verstappen, who's coming through the second to last corner now. And he comes here, he gets the apex done, but he puts the foot down too early, and he spins it. He spins the Red Bull round, and Max Verstappen goes down into 4th place. It's a terrible mistake by the current world champion, but can he make up for his mistake and chase down Charles Leclerc and get that podium position? Now we switch to our onboard now, where we are on lap 13 now, still in P9, still chasing after Fernando Alonso. We've still been chasing after him for the past like 10 laps or so now, and we just don't have the pace. But we're using some ERS now. We're quite low on ERS. We've only got 30% ERS left, and we've still got another 5 laps left. Cutting the car a little bit there to gain as much time as we can. Now we're coming up to the quick left-hander here, using the order curve on the outside. In fact, we actually do exceed track limits, but the FIA does not see that, so we get lucky that we don't get a warning for that, or a penalty. Now we're coming up to the chicane part now, using all the curve on the inside, and then you want to use all of it on the outside. Now you want to use a little bit on the inside here, and then on the outside as well. ERS being deployed again. Now into the third to last corner, using all the cover on the inside. We go really wide here. We'll almost lose the car there as well, but we keep it nice and cool under control. We actually hit the apex this time in the second to last corner. Now we're coming into the last corner now, and I've just noticed that our DRS is now working. So if we do get within range of Fernando Alonso, which I don't think we will, because it's gone up by 3.1 seconds now. But if we do, we will be able to use DRS. So when we went into the pit lane, they must have fixed it without us knowing or and telling us. So that is one good thing about this race. But the bad thing is we just don't have the pace. And now it's gone up to 3.3 seconds to the gap to Fernando Alonso. Now we come up later on in the race now. We are on lap 17 out of 18. So we've got 2 laps left. We come into the first corner, we lose the rear end a little bit there, but we'll keep it cool under control. Now into the second corner now, having a late apex, going quite wide here, where Ocon could make a move on us, but he doesn't quite do it. We're really low on ERS now. We are now 12% left of ERS. We've got completely missing the apex here. Now we're going to come into the chicane bit now, using all the curb on the inside, just like this, using all of it on the outside. Color Science sets a fast lap of a 1 minute 18.8 now. It's all flat out for this part. Then you want to slightly brake for this one. We do get a bit of understeer, but we keep it within track limits. Ocon now 5 tenths behind us. Our teammate 7 tenths behind us now. So can one of them make a move on us onto the final lap? We'll have to wait and see. Now coming into the last corner now to start. Now it's all flat out now. And now we go across the line to start our final lap of the race. And now can Ocon make a move on us into turn 1? He can't quite do it into turn 1. But he's going to have DRS with on us now. He's going to have DRS, and can he go around the outside into turn 2 now? He's going to have some better, we're going to have better traction, and we're going to have better grip as well on the inside. We push him out wide, and that leaves him vulnerable, and now our teammate is trying to make a move on Ocon now. We managed to stay in P9 now, but our teammate is now fighting Ocon. He goes around the inside, and that's our teammate up into 10th. And now he's in the points position now, where he will get 1 championship point. Now we switch over to Carlos Sainz, who's coming through the last corner now, who is 7 seconds in front of Sergio Perez. He comes across the line, and it's Carlos Sainz who wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it's Sergio Perez who comes in 2nd place, and it's Charles Leclerc who comes in 3rd. Max Verstappen in 4th, so Max Verstappen does not quite get the result he wants, and he did not manage to re-overtake Leclerc after his spin. We do lock up a little bit, actually. Can you see some tyre smoke there? Now we come into the final corner now, where we're going to get the power down as early as we can. Flat out now. And we come home for P9. So we get P9. So we come 9th in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Not the best of results, but it is a really good race. The fact that we started P16. So it's a really good race. However, we do get driver of the day, so that's another good thing.
What made the difference out there today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So it's Carlos Sainz who wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, with Sergio Perez in 2nd place, and then Charles Leclerc in 3rd. So that sees our podium finishes. A really good racing throughout the whole field, especially within the top 10. So now we look at the driver standings, where Max Verstappen, with his spin and coming 4th, he still remains in 1st place with 246 points. And then Carlos Sainz in 2nd with 196 points, which sees a gap of 50 points between them two. Now we look further down in the driver standings, where we see ourselves in P7 with 73 points, and we are only 5 points behind George Russell, who is in the Mercedes, and we're in a Haas car. And further down we look at our teammate, who's in P11 with 21 points and is in that midfield fight, and who is fighting for about P9, P8 in the driver standings. And now we look at the constructor standings, where Red Bull continues to lead the constructor standings with 417 points, and then Ferrari in 2nd with 378 points, which sees a gap of 39. Mercedes still in 3rd, ourselves still in 4th with 94 points. However, the AlphaTauris do make an overtake on the Alpines, and now there's a gap of 2 now between them two, so really good. It's a really close midfield fight for P5 now between the Alfa Romeos, the Alpine and the AlphaTauri. So that is it for today, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a like. If you want to see some more racing based content, please do subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next round, round 12, around Spa. for the Belgium Grand Prix, where hopefully we can beat our teammate once again.
Summer